Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about someone that is so iconic and so innovative that he's actually still culturally relevant today. His name is Jimi Hendrix, and you've probably heard of him, especially if you're into rock and roll. He pretty much pioneered rock today. He's one of the great legends. So before we get into his musical talents and his background and his musical fame, let's talk about his background. So he was born November 27th, 1942, to his parents James and Lucille. His real name actually was Johnny Allen, and then later on in life, his father changed his name to um, James Marshall. They said that they often called him Young James when he was a kid. Jimmy's life actually wasn't that good when he was growing up. They grew up in poverty, and his parents just really argued a lot and had a lot of fights. So they eventually ended up divorcing when he was 9. And because his tough upbringing, he really turned to music. Music was something that he always loved. He loved blues, he loved rock and roll, and he really got inspiration from people like musicians like B.B. King and Muddy Water, excuse me. So his father said he often caught him pretty much air guitaring on a broom when he was younger, and he decided to buy him a ukulele. It was like $5, and it was used, but Jimmy loved it. He practiced on it all the time, and by the time he was 15, he's really wanted an electric guitar, and that electric guitar just skyrocketed his career. But he was so passionate about music. He studied and he kept playing and practicing. And it's funny because he was actually left-handed. And if you know anything about guitars, you have to play with your right. So he really drilled it into himself to learn how to play with his right hand. Um, Eventually, after some time after he enlisted in the war and was discharged, he moved to London at around 1966. And he had been in many bands before, but they weren't quite successful. And he really didn't really get his success until after he moved and pretty much created his own sound. And he created Jimi Hendrix and The Experience. They were very popular in the UK and surprisingly not in America quite yet. Their song "Hey Joe" spent about 9 to 10 weeks on the number 6 on the top Billboard. Finally, what really got his claim to fame in America, as one night they were um, performing at the Montgomery Pop. Um, it's like an international thing that they were doing, and they performed their song Wild Things, that pretty much made him blow up. He became an overnight sensation, him and his band, and everyone loved his music because he was just so innovative and so talented. They've never heard anything like that. Jimmy loved to pretty much experience with the guitar, just like create new sounds, and she just really became successful. Um, he eventually, kind of fell into drinking and doing drugs, and his life was unfortunately cut short when he was 27. He ended up choking in his sleep on his own vomit. And it was just really sad for the rock and roll community. Everyone was just really upset because honestly, he was a legend. Again, like he was just so culturally relevant. Like, no one done sounds like that. So it was really hard for people to kind of accept his death, but he's became a musical pioneer. Everyone loved his music. He became a cultural icon, and he honestly inspired generations of musicians today. Um, and then we still celebrate him. Honestly, there's like a lot of people that still listen to his music. So that is my informative speech on Jimi Hendrix.